Do you struggle in using a lot of filler words in your communication and speeches? Do you know why filler words are created? Do you also know the impact of these filler words? Most importantly, do you know how to eliminate or at least reduce filler words? If you say no to one of these questions, today's video is for you. What are these filler words? These are junk words and phrases that are nothing to do with what we are talking about. These are you know, actually, of course, and so on and so forth. By the way, I still use some of these phrases. I may use them in this speech while I'm talking about filler words, because the goal is not completely eliminating these filler words. It's about reducing the number of filler words that you use in your communication. The first question is, how are they formed? Why do we have all of these filler words? Because of silence. Our brain is uncomfortable about silence, and it uses filler words to fill the gap. The next question is, why should we care about filler words? Why? Because they distract your audience. They take away the most important message that you have from you. Actually, you may look very, very amateurish when you use a lot of filler words, and therefore you want to deal with these filler words. The first time I came to realize that I'm using a lot of filler words was when I was attending Toastmasters in 2009, 2009. They told me I used a lot of filler words. Initially, I protested. Did I use all of these number of filler words? I didn't believe in it. Here was a problem. They told me how many filler words I used, but they didn't tell me the impact of these filler words, and most importantly, how to eliminate them. The good news for you today is that I'm going to show you how to eliminate or at least reduce the number of filler words that you use, so that you could be able to see immediate results in your communication and speeches. Let's talk about their impact. When you use a lot of filler words, your audience is going to be distracted. Not just that, they may miss the most important message that you have. They may actually count how many filler words you use. It was a long time ago. I had a boss and a couple of my colleagues. We used to sit at the back and count how many his filler word was unique. It's not like it was like something like that. It was very pronounced, and we were counting how many filler words he gonna use in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. Actually, you see, I just used actually. I caught myself. That's what you want to do. You want to catch yourself when you use filler words and phrases. At the back, we were betting with cash. Somebody could say, he's gonna say 100 R's in the first 10 minutes. Somebody would say, no, he cannot do that. And then we bet. Let me ask you this question. Whose fault was that? Looking back, I take responsibility. I should have given feedback to my boss. I should have paid attention. I didn't do that. Yes, but if you think about it, he was our leader. He's supposed to know how his filler words are distracting us. but he didn't know. You as a leader and entrepreneur, you want to make sure that you don't distract your audience. You need to know the impacts of these filler words. The last one, and the most important thing I want to talk about, is how do you eliminate filler words? The first thing is to be aware that filler words exist and their impact. Second, for you to be mindful. You remember earlier, I caught myself because I'm mindful. Even if I'm speaking right now impromptu. Remember, when you speak impromptu, that's when you're going to use a lot of filler words because you haven't rehearsed. When you rehearsed, what happens? You could be able to reduce filler words. You don't have a lot of silence, a lot of gaps. The first one, be aware. Second one, be mindful. And the third one, slow your speech. When we speak fast, that's when we have gaps. But if we speak a little bit slowly, we could be able to reduce filler words. One of the reasons why people speak fast and don't speak slowly is because of uncomfortability of silence. People are uncomfortable when there is silence. As a speaker, as an entrepreneur and leader, you should be very, very comfortable about silence, about gaps. The other thing you could do is use pause, purposeful, strategic pauses, which means intentionally, when you are thinking about what you're gonna say next, normally you use a filler word or phrases. Going forward, rather than using a filler word or phrases, why don't you just pause? Pause has power more than just helping you reduce the number of filler words that you use. And of course, I just said of course. By the way, I used another filler phrase. The key thing is this. These phrases, by the way, actually, of course, they may not be damaging like ah. And if you use them a couple of times in your speech, like I have been using, then that's okay. But you might have seen people using these filler phrases all the time and multiple times in their speech. That's why we should be paying attention to these filler phrases. That said, let's talk about why we should pause. When you pause, what happens? Your brain will get time to think about what you're gonna say next. Rather than using filler words, the brain feels comfortable with silence and gonna come up with something you have to say next. That's how you gonna eliminate or at least reduce filler words. When it comes to public speaking, this is one of the topics that we cover in our 1-day or 2-day workshops and our coaching programs. We have like dozens of concepts that we cover in our programs. As you can see, our programs are very, very unique because you remember the Toastmaster case? I was told how many ahs and I used, but I was not helped on how to eliminate and reduce them. They didn't give me strategies and tools on how to address the issue. In our programs, we tell you the science behind why certain things are happening. I just told you the science behind why we use filler words. For example, we will tell you why we feel nervous, the science behind. And then we're gonna equip you with the strategies, tools, and so on to channel nervousness. Our programs are very jam-packed, very practical, hands-on. We demonstrate, give you stories, tools, strategies, and also we're gonna give opportunities to speak and get feedback to make it better. When you're done with your programs, we got a lot of feedback over the years. People tell us that This is one of the workshops, one of the coaching sessions they have attended that transformed them. They could be able to see immediate change in their communications and speeches. And if you are interested, please reach out. We would love to help you. That said, I hope you found some interesting and impactful tips that's gonna help you reduce the number of filler words and phrases that you use in your speech. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye. I'm showing you this beautiful beach and the waves, the tides. Beautiful. Just early morning, sunrise. All right, enjoy the rest of